Alright, so I'm gonna make this quick video just basically to explain and the reason why I really wanted to change for the good, basically, okay? Now, some of you might be asking yourselves, okay, you made videos like this before, but here's the thing. I never made a video of my reasoning for me wanting to change, okay? But here is the reason why I decided to go from trolling and just being this terrible person to being a man of God and basically turning my ways and repenting and following the path with Jesus Christ, basically. And, you know, I guess I'll add, you know, privating my videos once again, basically, too. So, you know, really, I mean, it started off really as, you know, this hint that I kept on getting, and I know I explained this hint so many times in pretty much all of my videos on explaining this, but you know, I kept doing it. You know, I kept getting hints up until, you know, as low as like maybe mid-2022, okay? But I kept ignoring them until like, I'd say mid-2024. Okay, so that was a solid 2 years. I was ignoring the signs that I was going down a really bad path and where it was going to lead me, okay? You know, God kept giving me signs that I really wasn't paying attention to at the time, because those days I was just too focused on myself, okay? And, you know, a true wake-up call came to me. It was like maybe June or July of 2024, and I got this dream where I was basically doing really bad things, okay? And you know, to be honest, dreams are some things that happen that you think about that can happen in reality. I know I might not have explained that well right there, but you know, you might get what I mean. You know, it's a visual of something that might happen in reality, and it's a pretty bad sign or good sign whether you're doing good things or bad. Okay, and I had this dream. I was doing a really bad thing, like I was acting like a dictator, basically. And what I saw was a face, okay? And it looked like an angel was coming right in front of me. And all of a sudden it changes to the enemy, okay? And what happened was I woke up in a very cold sweat and breathing, and I could not contain myself. Okay, it was dark in my room. I had to turn on the TV to sleep, basically. And ever since then, I have not forgotten that dream, okay? It was hard to believe it was already 1 year ago since that happened. And I still will never forget that dream. It makes me want to hyperventilate sometimes thinking about it right now. But, you know, it was God's way of telling me, hey, you be on this path, you're going to be living a really bad life of sin, basically. And you know what? That's the reason why I made that first video of me wanting to change. I didn't explain the dream because I was waiting for the right time or the right video to explain it in, okay? And you might think, oh, you know, you're just telling all this just so you could look good, but no, I'm not doing that, okay? You know, to be honest, I know I'm getting off topic here, but the thing is, my haters are the people that like to do things just for them to feel self-righteous, them to feel justified just because they're making a video or something like that or whatever, okay? That's them basically feeling them, okay? That has nothing to do with me and my beliefs and what I think is going to happen coming in a short period of time, okay? Because once it happens, you know, if they're not right with God and they keep on following this path, because you know, a day to day can come at any time where Jesus will come back, and if they're not right with God, basically, and they're not on the path of following Jesus Christ, then they're going to be left behind, okay? And, you know, it just feels like my haters are one of the people that seem to be having that kind of fate happening to them. You know, I really don't want that to happen to anybody, okay? You know, I wish the best for my haters, okay? And you know, you might think that's strange of me saying that because they've done so many bad things. You know, they've made videos on me, they've doxed me, they've basically made threats to me. They've pretty much anything in the book, honestly. I mean, I've had a ton of things happen to me, okay? Okay, I may have done a lot of bad things, okay? That's the reason why I privated all the videos, okay? You realize that my videos from, it was about, yeah, maybe October 2016, all the way to, I think, it was like maybe early July of 2024, I was making troll videos. I was making videos of, saying I hate this person, or this person doesn't deserve this, or whatever. Okay, this person is, I say slurs a lot. Okay, that's the part of me that I want to get away from. Okay, and I have been getting away from that person. I'm not gonna be there and be like, say, okay, this person deserves to die. Okay, no, nobody deserves to die. Okay, that's the whole thing. That's the whole point of me that I'm trying to really get away from. And my haters are people that don't actually see me doing that, okay? And it's been a whole year. And I know it takes time. Some people might take a long time because there's people out there that don't believe you as soon as you say, hey, I want to change and I don't want to be this way anymore, okay? People aren't going to believe you at first, but the people that are there for you will believe you. And God knows, truly down in your heart, if you're telling the truth, then that means you are being very truthful and you're not lying and you're not trying to be like the enemy, okay? If you're being very truthful and you're being polite and you're trying to change yourself for the better and just repent yourself, okay, that's good, dude, okay? But if you're really trying to just like look good and look self-righteous because you want people to leave you alone, okay, that's not good, okay? And people can honestly see right through that, okay? Even my haters, they might not be the brightest people, but I know they could see right through some stuff, okay? And the whole cursing thing, the whole swearing thing, okay? Maybe sometimes a slip-up might come up, but it's what they say, we might slip up at some point. And it's very true. There's times when I've been making these videos that I had to edit out a tiny swear, like I've like saying hell or damn or whatever. Then I had to edit that out, okay? We slip up, okay? We're all humans. We make mistakes, okay? We're not perfect. That's just the way God made us. And we don't use 100% of our brains, There's a reason for everything. There's a reason why God made everything the way it is, and there's the reason why everything is the way it is, okay? If you're born wherever you are in the world and whatever you are, God chose you to be whatever that is. And that's just the reality of it all. I mean, you say to anyone, okay, you see a rainbow up in the sky after it rains, okay? You tell people, hey, that's an accident, okay? That's not an accident, okay? There's a reason that everything happens, okay? When us humans basically we get hurt or something like that, we get a cut on our arm or a burn mark. There's something that happens, okay? A scar or whatever, or a blister bubble happens. That's there to protect the wound from being infected, okay? You're gonna sit there and tell me that that's an accident, okay? No. God knew when he was creating man and woman, okay, both genders, he knew what to do in case of anything happening. Okay, God is smart when it comes to all that stuff, okay? Like I said, when he created man, he knew what to do. There's a reason why everything happens. Like, I keep saying that, but it's true. There's a reason for everything. Don't think that there's not a reason for something, because there most certainly is a reason to everything. And there certainly is a solution to every problem. Whether that be, fixing yourself or fixing something or doing something, it really doesn't matter. There's a solution to it, and you just gotta figure out what that is, okay? And you use your brain to as much as you possibly can, okay? That's why we have brains, basically, to think about. God implanted all this memory into our brains and gave us the signs of what we need to do in order for us humans to thrive on this earth. But the thing is, we're not really thriving, okay? We're causing chaos. We're starting wars. Every country is, especially, conflicts are breaking out. And, it's really not good, Thing is, I get afraid all the time, but to be honest, I really shouldn't be afraid, because whatever happens, I know that, you know, as Jesus as my Lord and Savior, that anything happens to me, I will be going directly to the afterlife, into God's kingdom. Okay? That's exactly where I'm aiming for, to go into my afterlife. After I pass away of this earth, of old age, or whatever it is that I might pass away from, I know that I'm going to be going to God's kingdom. And the people that, if they get left behind, then that's just what God tells them, because if they've committed way too much sin, of course God forgives, but if they're saying that they've changed and they're trying to be forgiven and they still commit sin, okay, that's really not a good thing, okay? Because what all this leads to is the person who's deceiving, who's a liar, who basically tries to drive you off the path of Jesus Christ, the enemy, Lucifer himself, okay? We're not supposed to let him derive us or derail us off the path of Jesus Christ. He wants to get you far away from Jesus as possible, okay? It's cold. Hell is a cold, dark, and relentless afterlife you could even imagine. It is the worst place imaginable. You do not want to go there. Heck, I mean, I remember this person even said that when they went straight to hell and came back, it was dark. There were just screams, and it was just unimaginable. Like when I first heard that, that was just like the thing that really scarred me for life. Like, man, I really gotta get myself changed. And you know what I did? I didn't even do that. I completely forgot about it for years, and basically just kept on committing sin without even thinking about it, okay? And then it wasn't until that dream, or that dream that I had, where it really woke me up. Literally, it woke me up to a lot of things that if I don't change right now, then I'm going down this path. And the same goes for everybody else too. If you have a dream like the one I had, then that's a sign that you need to change something. You need to repent something, okay? And you can't just, you can't you can't follow Jesus and make fun of others at the same time, okay? It just doesn't work that way. If you're heading down a path of sin, you're heading down a path of, drugs, alcohol, money lusting, greed, etc. That's all the path of the enemy right there, okay? And like I said in the previous video, it's the pleasure of the both P's that makes you really want more. Like, you don't have enough. Like, you want this, you want all this money, you want drugs, you want so much, you want more. You can, like, one or a million is not even enough. Like, you gotta have it. You just gotta have it. Okay? That right there is pleasure. And you can't have that. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Because once you're down that path, it's hard to get out. It's like when you smoke cigarettes for years, it's hard to quit. Okay? Same with trying to quit sin, basically. Trying to do all this stuff. You troll. Like, if you're like me, you trolled. You said lots of things out of anger. You angered so many people, and there's these people out there saying, "Hey, why'd you delete the videos? They were so funny." That, to be honest, I really didn't see them that way, honestly. All I saw those videos before I was privating them, it was just something out there that was just lingering, that was just dark and vile, and I just could not leave that on there for any longer, okay? I had to get rid of them. I had to private them. And no, I'm not deleting any of them, because, I mean, there's some videos that I privated that I still kind of enjoyed, making. Like, say, the Knuckles edit that I made with the meme of saying approved. Okay, the only reason that one didn't stay public was just because of the swearing in the text, basically. So if that one really didn't have any swearing or text, I would have kept that one up for sure, because it got over 2,000 views. But the thing is, views don't really matter to me when it comes to these videos, okay? If they're spreading sin, if they're swearing out there, then I have to hide them. Like I said, I just see them as, I don't see them as funny anymore. Like, the day I made them, sure, they were hilarious. But nowadays, I don't see them really as anything comical. And you know, that's kind of the reason why people stopped watching all my videos, and because I just changed into this new person. You know, people started calling me someone who just a changed person just because he wants relief, or he wants everybody to forgive him. You know, I really don't. You know, nobody has any reason to forgive me, okay? But you know, the thing is, I forgive them. If they don't forgive me, I will forgive them, because that's what Jesus wants you to do. You need to forgive people as Jesus Christ forgave you for all the sins that you've committed in your lifetime, okay? There's no human that ever went on this earth without committing some sort of sin, okay? You've done it, okay? So, I would say more, but I think you might get the picture of what I'm trying to say here. But that's pretty much the story about why I really wanted to change, okay? That dream that I will never forget that happened to me, it's still, like, it doesn't really, like, you know, it doesn't haunt me or anything like that. It was a wake-up call. Okay, that's what I look at it as a wake-up call. That's all I look at it as, and it's the one dream that I will never forget. In case I ever veer off the path of God again, I highly doubt I'm not going to do that. But if that were to ever happen again, I would just remember that dream and be like, I gotta get back on the good path. Okay, I'm going on the path of light here. I don't want to veer off, because that's what the enemy wants you to do. He whispers these things into your ear. Hey, commit this, do this. Don't follow God. He wants you to do that, okay? But you don't listen to those. You don't listen to those signs, okay? You don't listen to those whispers. You keep following what you believe in, and you know, you just follow Christ, basically. You don't veer off. Don't let the enemy try to derail you, okay? And you might say, like, you know, I'm doing real good in my lifetime, but I don't believe in God. But the thing is, what happens there is, you know, I've seen a ton of atheists, and not to say that they're bad people, because I know a lot of people that I'm friends with who are atheists, and you know, they're good people. But the thing is, I've seen at least most of them, if not all of them, have something going on in their lives that has happened to them, where they get depression, they lose something, or somebody dies, okay? That's truly a sign right there, okay? And every time I've seen that happen, I'm like, wow, every atheist I know is having something bad happen to them. And yes, I do feel bad for them. I'm not going to be like, oh, you're an atheist, so this is what you deserve. No, I'm not like that. Whoever you are, as long as you're a good person, you're not doing things to feel justified about yourself, self-righteous, or trying to, you know, fill all your time with pride. Just be like, oh, I've done this. I'm proud of myself. Okay, I'm not gonna do anything for anyone for their work. Okay, if you're someone like that, I really do hope you change all that. I really do hope you get better. I hope that you get with God as soon as possible. And once you do that, you're definitely gonna feel right, because when I got on the path of God, after all that happened, my life changed for the better in a million times. And I know the same thing can happen to you too, okay? So, please, just do it. I'm not shoving it down anyone's throats, because that's not what I'm here to do. I'm just here to talk about the times that got me into wanting to do this, and the things I would love any of you guys to do, okay? But, like I said, I'm not going to shove it down your throat. You don't have to. If you're someone who doesn't believe in God, or doesn't want to follow Jesus, I can't force you to do it. But I hope that one day you get the picture, and you do basically, you know, decide that you want to walk with Christ. That's all the video I wanted to do. Okay? Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you got any good things out of this video, then I really hope you did. I'll see you guys on another video, and God bless everybody.